Are you good?
First up is to review the minutes from the last meeting. Is there any discussion? Do I have a motion to accept?
Motion.
Do I have a second? All those in favor say aye.
I abstain, so I wasn't there.
Okay, first up is the cemetery budget.
You all said this.
Oh, I can, yeah. So payroll's down because we have a part-time person now instead of our staff being there, at a lower rate, and we just adjusted the payroll. The overall budget is down $3,415. We've added a pass-through account for burials. It's money paid to people doing burials through the funeral home and out just to make it cleaner, because it was being cut to a person personally. So we're bringing that, the cemetery trustees have asked to bring that in as a pass-through account. And that's really the only change there.
What are we saving for the capital reserve in there?
We have put $5,000 in.
Anything special that we earmarked it for?
Just their maintenance, or if when they start to develop the cemetery,
Okay.
or the plans for what they're. I don't know what is gonna happen there. We're running out of room. But that land needs a lot of work too.
The land on 175.
It's very wet.
That's what I thought.
Floating burial.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It may end up being like a cremation only
I was just
type
gonna,
of setup.
I was just gonna ask that, could we set up cremations?
You
Vault
can.
or whatever?
Some
there?
people put
See
above
it?
ground buildings,
Yeah,
you
kind of
know,
like they do at the VA cemetery.
Yeah.
yeah.
And there's really nowhere else, right? I mean, like, we don't really have any more land.
No, not unless we could get a little more from the Pierces, but that would be ideal if we could,
Right.
but other than that, we don't have much other land that's
Yeah.
dry.
Right.
Any more questions or discussions on the cemetery? Okay, moving on to the highway.
You can jump in whenever, if I'm not saying something right. We kept the payroll the same. We had budgeted for a part-time person during COVID, and applied. We've had mild winters. There's extra money in the left over right now because we had staff shortage for 9 months. Highway, you increase because salt increased a little bit, plus we had the school. He added this year crack ceiling. I'm gonna try that out. I don't know if you want to speak to that.
Yeah, I'm hoping it reduces some of the frost heaving that we've been getting. Before,
Because there's-
eventually we'll repave some of the road. Hopefully this will help prevent some of the frost heaving.
They increased highway maintenance because Mike had presented a stone quote to repair the stone wall. The selectmen voted to increase the highway maintenance 15,000 and plan for a few years to do it. So that's the increase in the highway maintenance and why it's zeroed out on stone wall.
Where's this, where are we talking, stone wall?
Across from Soldiers Park,
The gazebo?
That big stone wall.
it's gonna need some
Oh,
work.
the
Just
big
below the
one,
one
the
that
big
we
one,
struck
okay.
out.
Eventually it's gonna be easy.
Hmm.
I don't think it's imminent, but we're just trying to plan ahead, so it's not a huge bill.
So are you saying, Judy, that like 15 grand or something every year will add to that as
That-
opposed to the 63 all at once?
Right, that's what they voted at the meeting last night. So the truck that was due in 2021 is now arriving in 2023, so it's gonna kind of throw a schedule off a little bit. The loader is up for 2024. This is the increase is to account for that difference in pricing and equipment. And he was actually due for a backhoe in 2025. He has pushed that out to 2026 to make it a little easier for budgeting. And he's also, you want to talk about who adjusted your equipment schedule? You increased some. Oh, he moved is it the 1 ton?
The 1 ton was set at 7 years, but. But in 7 years, that truck is only gonna average about 25,000 miles on it. And these cabs are aluminum, they're supposed to last a long time. So I'd like to put that truck out 10 years instead of 7. I mean, if it looks bad, then we can readjust, but I'd like to get a little more time out of it. And, same with the backhoe, we can get a couple more years out of that with no problem, that's still in good shape.
Is the loader in rough shape?
This loader it's in good shape, it's in excellent running condition. Right now, there's a little bit of rust in the cab. But if the rust gets to the front part of the cab, that's part of the rollover protection, and the value will drop badly. But right now, it's still worth quite a bit of money.
Can we repair that though? The rust?
We have patched some of it,
Oh,
but
That's a 2011, that's it. 8 now.
it is due to go, so we get one more winter out of it. If we can put in for the new one, they're about 10 months out, 10 to 12 months out.
And it's in the capital reserve.
It's in
Yeah.
the capital
It's
reserve.
already-
You
it's
won't,
already paid.
yeah,
Not already, but.
If you may.
and then.
So is there no payroll increases this year?
No, there's no, I think they're gonna be fine with their payroll where it's at.
No, but I mean, are they getting raises?
Oh, 3%.
3%.
Yeah. Yes, but I don't think you need to adjust here.
Thank you for.
Because of offset of the part-time.
Yes,
That
I think they're
was-
gonna be fine.
Yeah.
Highway block grants money in, money out. Paving. School Street is up this year in a section of Lost Valley, but they have enough money. Right now, between the highway block grant and the paving capital reserve, they have 334,000. So I think that they're good at in the 20 for their smaller projects and taking that out of that. That's what we talked about, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So overall, the actual budget, it shows up 5246. It's actually up 50,200 due to capital reserve increases.
1763.
Yeah.
Now, everybody knows what's recording.
They don't know what you're talking.
Do we have any other questions on the highway budget? Moving on to sewer.
We adjusted wages to meet the actual, they need to be adjusted versus for what they've used this year, and to make sure the fund is being properly charged. That also accounts for their wages. We've lowered electricity and the sewer and water operating expenses based on the rates and the usage. Sewer operating is up due to the increase in product and services. And the contracted services that went up due to the increase in the operator contract in the engineering. And however, we paid off one of our loans, the clarifier loan. So debt services dropped. And Scott, you guys increased the capital reserve to prepare for.
Yes. Because we're not saving enough.
We're not.
Not,
We're in a
and that's
deficit.
not enough either, so. So. I think we're trying to balance, we're going up on the rates. And trying to. Fund the capital reserve more, but also cut down on the deficit. that the town has with the sewer department, so hopefully over the next 5 or 6 years, 7 years. Well, that bit. Sure.
So the budget shows up 13,995. The actual operating budget is down $11,000.
And just to clarify, people that aren't on sewer don't pay the,
Right,
people that aren't on town water don't pay for any of the water stuff.
right,
So,
it's a shame.
You know, there's
Yeah,
no
for you.
sustaining budget. So sewer is actually going up. The sewer bills are actually going up 15%.
15%.
You don't send notifications out to people either, do you?
That they're
We
going
just
up.
see it in our bill.
They just voted last night, so
Oh.
it will be effective the beginning of the year, Q1.
And the water's only going up 5%.
So when we send out January's billing, we'll put a notice in that to say your Q3 is going to go, or your
Q1.
Q1 March billing will have the new rates.
Okay, so in December when we get, okay,
Yeah.
that's what I'm, okay.
And I think we're gonna find over the next few years is the water's gonna creep up slowly and the sewer's gonna keep on going up at a faster rate.
The 15% equates to about $30 more in the base rate across the year, so.
For an average use.
For an average user, for an average.
Not
for a family of
so.
four.
It's business, what do you do?
Right.
Us doing business, you're gonna up your.
Yeah, it only costs so much.
Walker up here.
Yeah.
And probably about $40 a gallon over the course of the year.
Yeah, I see the sewer rates going up pretty steadily the next few years.
Mm.
Hopefully not, but
Any other questions, discussion? Okay, moving on to water.
Water payroll, they're gonna be fine. There's some cushion there for emergency anyways. We've added a propane line because part of one of our grants was Renai heaters at the well. Contracted services is up the percent that pretty much they're all going up. That's Penachuk Engineering, our labs.
Did you mention also that the engineering, we've had to use a little bit more of the engineering services for all of the grants that we're receiving as well, so they're helping us administer a lot of money that's coming in. The access of that too.
We'll be using a lot of
Yes.
engineering for the Morris Street project.
you know,
We
Oh,
hope.
the what?
And it
The-
helped
the
a lot with
water.
the meters in the backflow. Designing for the new additions we're getting, hope, possibly peeling.
right.
The trail park, stuff like that, and they've helped a lot with that.
The payroll. You have it 52,280.
Mhm.
I'm assuming that's you. When we have a water break,
Mhm.
that's where the guy's payroll comes out of, okay?
Yep.
My
Yeah, we can
question
do it.
being, if we've only used 31,000, we got 20,000 left, are you just putting in the 52 to
We
cover
are,
tail just in
we
case?
had no major water main breaks this year. We didn't have to call them. They had just their steady operating, their weekend chores, their, whatever they were doing for the grant. If they have to go do final water reads,
Hopefully they'll,
there's other
hopefully-
things that
That's
happen.
good.
Have an employee for the first
And-
4 months.
right, we didn't have-
No, 6 months.
9 months, we went without a,
Right,
employee.
but only 6 months of this year,
oh, yes, sorry.
so 6 months of one employee adds up as well.
And that's some of these with the other budgets.
Any other questions, discussion? Next up, Parks and Rec.
That payroll is to mow the lawns at the different places.
Yep. Take care of the playgrounds, parks.
And why is it going down?
We had put We had put a part-time person in there during COVID when things were really, really bad.
Oh.
And we thought we were gonna have to bring somebody in to help us. We never found them, and then things kind of have gone back to normal. People are. So we just lowered it.
Any other questions? Discussion? Next up, we have to look at the revised list for the contact info, make sure everything's okay. I think the only,
Just Marcy.
I think the only thing we had was Marcy's email.
Email,
Huh?
it's correct.
It's correct.
You're fine, you're still gonna take your call.
Is there anything else to come before the budget committee this evening?
Well, that was great.
And we didn't have to sit here either, because it's been 15 minutes. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. The budget meeting is closed.
That's always my favorite, but.